Raven here, Detroit Lions beat for MLive down here in Indianapolis at the NFL Combine ahead of this year's draft. And, tonight it's the first on-field activities. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends take the field tonight. Could the Lions be interested in a quarterback? We've seen a lot of talk concerning Sam Howell. We've seen a lot of talk concerning Desmond Ridder. All those guys are going to take the field tonight. It's going to be interesting to see. Willis isn't going to do any running, but he's going to do some throwing. See what happens there. But, I just think the consensus has really shifted to Malik Willis or bust. It kind of feels like for the Lions in terms of quarterbacks. And I just don't see him slipping to 32. I'm not in the camp that sees him going at pick 2 to the Lions. But, hey, I'm here for you guys. Drop some questions in there. I'm just going to ramble and talk to myself with what's on my head. But quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight end on-field coverage starts at 4 o'clock on the NFL Network. I think those drills actually start at 7 p.m., so don't rush home to check those out. But then Friday, we'll just run through it real quick, running backs and offensive linemen. Saturday, defensive linemen and linebackers. That's a big one for those Detroit Lions. And then Sunday, it closes with defensive backs, and that's at 2 o'clock. Coverage starts at 4 on all the other days, 7 p.m. on those on-field drills on the NFL Network outside of Sunday. That's at 2 o'clock. But, I had some time today because it's offensive linemen and running backs at the podiums. And, the Detroit Lions don't need much help at offensive line. And while it's not out of the question that they might grab a running back for depth, they got DeAndre Swift back. They got Jamal Williams back. They got Craig Reynolds back. They got last year's 7th-round pick and Jamar Jefferson back. So it's kind of like, okay. I don't know if you guys can see me here. I'm kind of just like from like the meaty area of it all. Downtown Indy's behind me. The escalators that run to the podium rooms and down to the media room right behind me. So hopefully I'm here. You're hearing me all right. But dang, ain't nobody's got no questions, huh? That's all right. Well, I'm just gonna ramble then because this is a really interesting event. It just helps you get to know the prospects a little better. Like these podium sessions are about 15 to 20 minutes each if you're lucky at the main ones. Those side ones, it really just depends on how many people are over there. But it's just kind of like I thought Malik Willis was really impressive in his media session yesterday. There were a couple of offensive linemen that were just really impressive today. The Chris Paul guy from Tulsa, he was really impressive. Thayer Munford, I think his name is, from Ohio State. He was pretty funny. It's funny. One of the favorite things about this type of event is when you're talking to like an Ohio State guy, you're asking him about Aiden Hutchinson. Like, oh, do you think this is the best pass rusher you've ever faced? Blah, 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 blah. And he's just, no. And it's just like, then you remember that that's the offensive lineman from the like viral clip of Hutchinson just absolutely blowing somebody up. And it's just like, it's funny to watch the Ohio State guys kind of slip up with actually saying that M word, because you've seen a couple kind of dropping the, that team up north stuff like that. But what do we got here? Oh yeah, no doubt. Hey Don, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. But yeah, that's kind of the takeaway on that stuff right there. As you can see, former long snapper Don Molbeck, current league executive and assistant coach, growing role, just walked behind me there. That's who that was right there. But yeah, it's just, the Lions pick second. They pick second, 32, and 34. If you're wondering why there's so much talk about a quarterback at the back of the first round and not early second round or something like that, it's because if you pick somebody on day one, they get that 5th-year option. And, when you're drafting a round 1 quarterback, you really want that team-friendly contract that you can build around. So that's kind of where the Malik Willis discussion gets interesting. Like, I don't see him slipping to 32. But I don't think it's out of the question that if he slips past 15, that they wouldn't at least have a discussion about maybe moving up for him. Because I don't know, Dungeon of Doom listeners out there, just a little spoiler alert for later today. We're going to record with Oregon Live's football beat writer and talk some K-Von. We're planning an Aiden Hutchinson talk with Aaron McMahon of the MLive's Wolverines beat later this week. So we're going to have a lot of stuff coming down the wire on those guys. But just, it's just, talking Willis. I just don't think it's out of the question. I lost my train of thought there, just because that's the thing that we've all been saying this entire time. Don't draft somebody whose ceiling is Jared Goff. Draft somebody whose ceiling is higher than that, who might have more to offer. And you look at Willis, it's the arm strength. It's the true dual threat ability. It's just he's got that, like, what did Dan Campbell say? He said, does that quarterback make you tingle? And I know that's kind of weird to say. And I know it's kind of funny, and it's hard to say it with a straight face here, but it's like of the 5 guys in the mix on day 1 at quarterback, the Ridder, Willis, Pickett, Sam Howell, and I know I'm forgetting another one, but it's Willis. That ceiling's, it's a risk. It's high risk, high reward, but it's like the biggest reward comes with Malik Willis, and I just thought he was really impressive at the podium. We'll see how he throws tonight. He's not going to run, kind of saying, just kind of saying he wants to show off his throwing ability. It's like the national reports have been saying teams are really impressed with his ability to process, read a playbook, call the plays and stuff like that. So he's really going to focus on that side of the game because, I mean, when you watch Malik Willis, you can tell that the guy's a runner. You can tell he can run. You can tell he can get out of that pocket and make some magic happen with his feet. So it's going to be really interesting to see what scouts think about seeing that cannon up close and personal. I wasn't at the Senior Bowl. Kyle Meinke was for us, our MLive beat, and he said, I mean, it's just a straight cannon attached to Wilson's round. But let's get that. We're done talking quarterbacks. My gut tells me, and it's kind of stayed the same. It's kind of opened up a little bit, but my gut tells me this is not the year for a quarterback pick for the Lions. I just don't see it happening. You might see it happen in the middle, the later rounds, just because they don't have a true backup set in place. And, it's not the worst idea to find a guy that you can kind of groom. You don't even feel rushed. I mean, shoot, that guy could sit for a year, 2, 3, however this Goff situation goes. I mean, that's been the most fascinating topic, I think, heading into the offseason. It's just been kind of Jared Goff's strong play and how much Brad Holmes loves him and will seemingly give him chances. So there we go. We're done with quarterbacks. Today was offensive linemen and running backs at the podiums. The most chill day while down here in Indy for sure for those on the Lions beat. Talking offensive line, don't see much happening in that regard. The consensus kind of seems to be maybe they'll try and get in that Matt Nelson role type guy, but Nelson's an exclusive rights free agent. The coaching staff loves him. He performed well for what they really asked him to do. And I mean, he's a new offensive lineman too. That was a defensive lineman at Iowa, made that late switch, and he's really just continued to grow. So it's like, my gut tells me they won't mess around with the offensive line too much. I mean, maybe a little interior depth if they can't re-sign Evan Brown. You got Big V's big contract. They restructured that a little last year. But he played well and he was durable last year. So that's I don't see a lot of movement on the offensive line. The running back situation, there's not really a threat for a first-round running back this year. So, I mean, it's just how they feel about Jefferson, how they feel about Reynolds, how they feel about Swift's durability concerns. I mean, shoot. Swift has a 30-carry game for the first time in his career, and then he misses the next 4 weeks. I mean, that was the second time in 2 years that he's missed substantial time. So it's like, and Jamal Williams was good, but not great, and he kind of faded down the stretch. So running back's not out of the question. Craig Reynolds was great down the stretch. He's going to get some looks. And then, Jamar Jefferson, last year's 7th-round pick, didn't get on the field much last year. Had a good game in Pittsburgh, got hurt on that long touchdown run, but I don't see a lot going on at running backs either. Tomorrow is the meaty day. Linebackers, defensive line, you're going to get those edge defenders. It's going to be Aiden, going to be Kayvon, going to be Jermaine Johnson, going to be guys like that, Devin Lloyd, Chad Muma, Wyoming. There's a lot of good edge rushers, a lot of good linebackers there. I mean, the consensus has really grown to Aiden at pick 2. It really feels outside, inside that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to look offensive tackle at pick 1. And while this is a disastrous year for a quarterback needy team, potentially like the Lions, not the worst case scenario, it'll be picking between Aiden, Kayvon, or even Kyle Hamilton. And that's where we're going to leave it because we're here through Saturday, and Saturday is the defensive backs day. And I just think the most polarizing topic going into these next couple of weeks. Hint, we're going to have some mock drafts, our first round of mock drafts dropping here soon. And like I said, Dungeon of Doom, we're going to be talking to an Oregon beat writer today about Kayvon. We're going to be talking to our Michigan beat writer sometime this week about Aiden and what's going on there. But tomorrow's a meaty day. So mlive.com/Lions, linebackers, edge defenders, defensive line, that's things that the Lions need. I don't know if you guys missed it when we got to town on Wednesday. We got to meet up with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell before they took to the podium, kind of telling us how they're going to switch to a more 4-man down defensive line. They're still going to be, it's still going to be, in my opinion, that it's still going to look like the same defense. There's going to be more 4-man down fronts. And that feels like an adjustment, waiting on an Aiden to come into that defensive line. But also, that gives Levi a chance to get in there a little more, bump around down. And they think he can play some end. They think he can play inside. Alim McNeil, nose tackle for as long as he wants to be the starter at that position. I mean, he's the real deal. But they could still use a little interior depth. Michael Brockers isn't getting any younger, just had one of the least productive seasons of his 10, 11, 12-year career. So it's just kind of like, you got to start looking down the road there. Deshaun Hand's not here anymore. Kevin Strong's not here anymore. You kind of need to restock the youth, the development at that position too. So wouldn't be surprised, even though that they had back-to-back picks at that position last year in the 2nd and 3rd round. That's tomorrow too. Today's kind of a weird day. The Lions writers were kind of just like circling the media room today. Like, what do we do? Like, there's Kenny Walker over there. Yeah, Kenny Walker. Also, for the MSU fans on this chat, that's something I've noticed in the last couple of weeks. The Kenneth has been dropped for Kenny, it seems like. So, yeah, that's about it, guys. No questions, so I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself, but mlive.com/Lions. There's three of us down here. We're going to be grinding through Saturday afternoon. Podcast posts coming nonstop. Tomorrow's the meatiest day down here for sure with those defensive line and edge rushers and linebackers on the board. So stay up with us. Stay up with us. And if you got a question, if you're catching this late, shoot me a tweet, shoot me an email. The email is braven@mlive.com. Twitter, Benjamin S. Raven is the handle. Hit me up, and thanks for following around. Yeah, free agency. Shoot, that's like less than 2 weeks away. Mock drafts coming soon. Free agency previews coming soon. Got a lot of stuff coming down the line, and thanks for riding with us. Appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves. And I'm going to try and eat some good food for y'all tonight.